So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to tell you how to make your person change fast. And let me give you the outline for that right here. What's going to go in this video exactly. I'm going to tell you how to identify the ideal version of them that you can feel, that version that you're initially attracted to, that you want to bring out, the reason that you love them. Yeah, I'm going to tell you how to identify that. And I'm going to tell you how to focus on it to bring it more to the forefront so that you can transcend circumstances. I'm going to tell you how to ignore the fake ego illusion versions. I'm looking at my notes on my phone just so I can include everything for you guys. I'm going to tell you how to create a story that supports the perfect version unfolding. I'm going to tell you how to be a cooperative component in the bridge of events leading up to the 3D manifested ideal version of them. Okay. I'm going to tell you the biggest mistake and most common mistake that you don't want to make. And I'm going to help you correct that. That's going to be towards the end. And then in the very end, watch till the end, because in the end of the video, I'm going to tell you how to close the gap and change them faster and manifest it faster. Okay, so this is going to be completely outlined and detailed for you guys. Great video. Make sure you watch till the end. If you've been following me and you know that you like my content, if you've been following my podcast, I'm going live Monday through Friday. 12 p.m. EST. I was a little bit late today, but 12 p.m. EST, Monday through Friday. So if you want to learn more about manifesting energetics, manifesting from ego to soul, getting that magic wand status, just subscribe, hit that bell, click all so that you know every time that I'm going live so that you can get all that good info. Okay, so selecting the ideal version of your person. Here's what happens when you meet your person. You feel something. That's the attraction that you feel. That's what you like them because you feel something within them. Now, within people, you're going to sense different things and many things, right? There's many projections that you're going to see in them. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to focus on the parts that resonate with you the most. Focus on the parts that draw you to them, that you love the most about them. So the positive attributes and the parts of them and the pieces of them and the attributes of them that you feel the most connected to. Okay. What you can feel is real. So what's really important with manifesting a specific person is that you understand that your feelings are real. What you feel and sense and know about them is the tangible stuff that manifests. When you feel something, feelings manifest. Okay. So you got to know that. So on a soul level, let's say that there's an ego level of experiencing reality, right? Ego is like the fake illusion level, but on a soul level, this is the feeling level that feels like truth to you. So your soul is identifying positive attributes about them on their soul level, and you're attracted and drawn to them because they're relevant to you on a very, very meaningful, purposeful level. And this is part of the story too. If you believe that there's a meaning and a purpose and a relevance for your attraction and draw to them and for your connection, you're going to set yourself up to be much more likely to manifest that positive, perfect, ideal version of them into your reality. The problem, and this is not like the block that I'm going to tell you at the end, but I'm going to tell you along the way, like just everything that I can tell you. So the problem is that what people do typically, even if you know about manifesting, people tend to, walk about their waking daily walking life as a human instead of a manifester, right? And so people will say, oh, well, he's this and he's that and he's this and he's that. And they'll include all of the negativity that they see in their story instead of making the negativity that they see not matter, because they know, oh, that's like the fake illusory stuff. That's like the fake illusory ego stuff. The fake illusory ego stuff is not the real stuff. That's the outer shell. The parts that you resonate with that feel like truth to you, those parts are real. Those are the parts that you want to focus in on, and you can manifest them because you feel connected to them. Like I said, feelings are real. When you hone in on them, bring them to the forefront, focus on them, and maintain that focus, that's how you create the momentum that brings it about in a 3D fashion. Okay. So you want to, here's part of being a cooperative component in the bridge of events. You want to know, these are my own personal notes. I wrote them this morning for this video. You want to know that everything that you see and everything that is happening, so for instance, circumstances, what they say, what they do, the situation, whatever negativity or not ideal situations or things that may occur or happen, you want to know that everything that you see and everything that's happening is leading up to the unfolding of your version. This is very, very important for circumstances don't matter, for ignoring the negative things that you don't want to include in your reality. This is super, super important part of your belief system and your story for making your ideal versions pan out. Okay. Very, very powerful tool. Your stories and your beliefs manifest. So if you want to be a cooperative component in the bridge of events, you need to know that everything is part of the bridge of events, no matter how your sensitive, ego, human, doubtful mind sees it, right? So on a soul level, you know, like it's part of the bridge of events. Like the purpose of this negative thing is the positive thing that's coming. Perfect. Okay, so test. You're going to be tested. And it's not like the universe is trying to test you or you have to pass, fail, whatever. It's, you're aligning and purifying as you go. You are demonstrating your true belief systems and your true core vibration to the universe. And those vibrations that are you, that you're like emanating, your energy, the energy of the reality that you're in, those have to stand in the face of circumstances in order to manifest on the screen of space as solidly real. Okay. Thank God this is recorded. You can watch it as many times as you want. We're not even done yet. All right. So you have to be able to hold this focus in this way, like the focus of believing like, oh, I know who they are on a soul level because I recognize them on a soul level. That's real. You have to know that. And so when you know that you can hold this idea of them, no matter what circumstances are coming up, that's when you're going to be able to bring it about unconditionally. So if you want to transcend circumstances, you have to be able to hold that vision unconditionally, okay, beyond conditions. Okay, that's very, very important. So you're going to be tested. So what most people do in the face of circumstances is they're like, oh, that's the evidence that I can't have what I want, or that's the evidence that it's not real. That's what keeps you from manifesting it. Okay, so moving right along. Here's part of the story that you want to create that's going to help you, because people ask me this all the time, like what do I tell myself, what story do I need to have? All right, here's part of the story that you want to have. You create your own reality, and whatever you believe is what's going to happen. So let me give you a nice story to create. So you need to know that everything that you feel connected to and everything that you're experiencing with your person is completely relevant. And the whole point of why you're feeling this connection with them and why you're seeing these positive soul attributes about them, like the whole reason why you're picking up on them on a soul level, feeling connected and drawn to them on a soul level that doesn't make sense in physicality always, you have to know that the purpose of that vision and version that you can feel is because you're meant to manifest it. You're meant to feel it. You're meant to know it. This is part of your end. This is part of you manifesting a true desire. So the universe doesn't hold a carrot in front of you and say, run, but you're never going to get the carrot. That is not what is going on here. You need to know that. Okay, this is not a tease. If you want something and you can feel it, real, okay, you can feel the true pull and the true draw, and it's meaningful to you, it's relevant to you, you're meant to manifest it, you're meant to focus on it, you're meant to believe in it, you're meant to have it. So you need to know that early on, in one of my recent SP situations, the universe, it was a little bit confusing because what I felt and knew about this person on a soul truth-based level didn't match like circumstantial reality. And so the universe told me, don't look with your eyes, look with your feeling. And I was like, makes a lot of sense. That's manifesting. Okay. So it's kind of like that. All right. What else? Moving right along. When you know that everything is leading up to the ideal version unfolding, you're going to be a cooperative component. You're going to be able to hold your stance, hold your focus. You're going to be able to, you're going to be able to know the circumstances don't matter. You're going to be unmoved. You're not going to be reacting. I'm going to give you more tips on not reacting further into the video. So here's a trick that I use that works so good, especially like the more that you use this with time, the better that it works. So instead of having a negative reaction to circumstances, you celebrate them because you know that the literal purpose of everything that is happening is to bring about the ideal version, the version that you know is real. So when I come across something that appears to be not ideal, I define it. Your definitions and belief systems manifest. Okay, so the definition and belief system that I give to something that appears to be negative is I'm like, oh, this is working out for me even better than if this thing didn't happen. This thing is serving me and giving me exactly what I want beyond my wildest miraculous imagination. This is making it happen. Like the purpose of the negativity is so that I can live out the equal and opposite. That works so good every time. That's a belief system. If you want to adopt that, that's going to work for everything. So here's more on identifying, okay, the version of them that you want to manifest, holding that instead of including all of the ego, illusion, fake crap. When you know that you have identified their soul, so what you feel, you're a soul in a body. You have a body and you have a soul. They're a body and they have a soul too. So when you feel connected to someone, it's like this soul level knowing resonance connection. You're drawn to something that's beyond the physical, not even explainable, right? So when you know that you have clearly identified their soul underneath the shell of the human ego, the human and the ego, because you can feel the identification of their soul, you can feel what the quality of that is, okay? You will know the shell or the circumstances or the ego, right, doesn't matter. When you know that what you feel is real instead of what you think that you see is real, you'll know circumstances don't matter automatically. That's a trick. So it becomes easy to ignore when you stop looking with your eyes and when you look with your feelings. Okay. And when you feel very strongly about someone, it becomes even easier to manifest them because you've got a lot of vibrational power to work with. Don't take feeling for granted. Okay. Because so some people, like, they don't realize just how powerful and magnificent and special that the feeling of love and connection is. Some people can't reach that. A lot of people can't reach that. If you can reach it, ooh, you've harnessed an energy that creates worlds powerfully and fast. Okay. So don't take that for granted. Sometimes I have to train people just to be able to feel better things, right? And that's something that if you want that, right? Join my manifesting university. I'm always like helping people with the foundational basics on how to drop negativity and change, if you can't reach what I'm doing in this video, I'm teaching you guys how to do that in the manifesting university every month. Okay, so here's the biggest mistake. And after this, I'm going to tell you how to close the gap and make it happen faster. Okay. But here's the big common mistakes that you don't want to make. So number one is, like I said a second ago, reacting to the ego shell circumstantial perspective. Again, when you know that this is like a soul level thing, you're not going to be concerned with whatever is fake circumstantial that is showing up. You're going to know it doesn't hold any magnitude or relevance. It doesn't matter. It's not going to have any effect. Okay. So, right, where a lot of people go wrong is they just keep looking at the circumstantial ego fake stuff and they're calling it real and they're interacting on that level. No, that's not going to manifest the ideal perfect version of them that you want to manifest. Okay, focus, right? And so this is kind of like a two-part thing. So when you are in your human ego mind monkey brain space, you're going to deal with them on a fake mind level, ego based, circumstantially driven place. When you drop into the truth of your feeling that you feel is real, then you're going to be able to deal with them on a soul level as well. So it's like, I'm not dealing human to human. That's tough. That's like, how do I, you can't work with that. You can't do anything with that. I'm dealing soul to soul in the situation. So my soul knows, and you have a soul, and your soul knows too. So I don't have to deal with your human. I'm going to deal with your soul. And that's like the truth underneath everything. When we know that sometimes we know things about people, right? We know like they're going to change their mind or they're going to be okay. Or we know that, what they just said wasn't the truth because we can all sense truth. Okay. And I don't really care what you believe in, but when you understand it in this way, it's going to help you manifest what you want in your person. When you believe that the things that you are attracted to, that you can feel, are the truth. Okay. And I believe that the universe at large is benevolent. And I believe that the things that are truly desires within us, I believe that they are meant. So you can imagine how much that helps me manifest like the higher value and purpose in everything in my life and in all the people in my life. Okay. So you got to have like benevolent thoughts about the universe at large in order to manifest more benevolent outcomes in your world. Do you believe in love? Do you believe that good things are meant? I do. It makes manifesting easier. And I think it's the truth as well. So you're not dealing human to human. When you're trying to deal human to human, you're going to be struggling with all of it. You're going to be struggling with you. You're going to be struggling with them. You're going to be confused. You're not going to know what to do. There's no wisdom. That it's just, you're not in your end. You deal soul to soul. The rest doesn't matter. This is where you come into God's state. This is powerful because you're automatically not concerned with anything, undisturbed. That's important. So you want to close the gap and make it happen faster? All right. So let me read this to you. I wrote this morning. So you're not interacting with the fake version. You're knowing and loving and speaking to the real version that you can feel. Now, when you're doing this, I'm not saying go and immediately take some sort of action in their direction or profess some sort of love. You need to be able to tell the difference between your soul and your ego and your need and the motivations behind your actions. You need to gain awareness to this in order to know that you're not behaving from a need lack place. Okay, that takes a level of awareness to have that discernment, to know that you're not acting out of need. All right, so that's part of what I teach in my Manifesting University as well. I put you guys through a training. So closing the gap. When you can do this consistently, no matter the circumstances, that's when you know that you're going to manifest it. Okay, when you can deal with them and not be reactive to the human ego circumstantial stuff, that's when you know that it's going to happen. Now, closing the gap. As you close the gap in your reactions to the fake versions, the circumstantial version of them, you close the gap to the manifestation of the ideal perfect version that you know. Does that make sense? So it's fine if you have a reaction initially, What you start doing in the beginning is you start reminding yourself of this process that I'm explaining, and then you start turning it around and changing your mind about it. Now, initially, you're going to have like a time period here where like whatever the time it is it takes you to have the initial reaction and then turn it around. As you get better at this and practice it more, you're going to close the gap between your reaction time and your turning it around time until you close the gap completely to where you're not having any reaction at all and you're just immediately in circumstances don't matter. You're immediately in God's state, even in the face of like some circumstance. In the moment that a circumstance occurs, you pass the test immediately by still being in your end, still being like aware on a soul level of what is going on, still dealing with them on a soul level, not on a human ego based level. And there's no initial egoic reaction with you. That's when it's going to happen immediately. So you just work on like perfecting this process and closing the gap. Okay. Look, if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you click the like button, subscribe, hit that bell, and click also that, every time that I'm going live, I go live Monday through Friday, EST, on this channel with my new podcast, Manifesting from Ego to Soul. If you want the deeper, real, actual step-by-step teachings and all the stuff that I offer in my coaching group, I take you guys through this every single month, how to achieve these things. I break it down. There's visuals, there's homework, there's practices, there's Q&A, there's support. So that is in my Manifesting University. The link is in the description below. I will also put that in the pinned comment. Comment on this video. Tell me what helped you and what you want me to do next. I'll see you tomorrow for another live.